Here with me, I have Eric Naiburg, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Scrum.org. Can you tell us first a little bit about you and a little bit about Scrum.org?
Sure. Hey, Mary, and thanks everybody. I have my fingers in a whole lot of things. I run marketing and business operations and sales and partnerships and our trainer program, as well as helping to drive a lot of our strategy. Most of my background comes out of the product management realm. I was a product manager for a company called Rational Software, which eventually got acquired by IBM. I was the first product manager for an old data modeling tool called Irwin, which still exists today in many working databases. I've spent most of my career in the product realm. Scrum.org is about helping people and teams solve complex problems. And what we do is we teach people agile techniques, agile processes, a lot about Scrum, and a combination of training resources. There's a lot of free information on our website, as well as certification, validating the knowledge that you get. And with Scrum.org, we're founded by Ken Schwaber. Ken is our chairman and he continues to be heavily involved in the organization. Ken co-created Scrum. So he's a driver for a lot of what we do today. What I'll be talking about is the Agile Product Operating Model. The Agile Product Operating Model is really around how do we move organizations from more of a project type focus to a product focus. It's really interesting. There's a survey that we had done of about 4,200 organizations and people within those organizations. And 73% of the people said their organization is considered a product organization. Yet most organizations are still thinking of things in the world of project instead of product. And that often can get in the way. It gets in the way of our success. It gets in the way of how we're building things. And what I'm going to talk about is how can we evolve from project to product?
In my experience, I think that is actually the biggest thing holding back Scrum teams and organizations, whether they realize it or not. I do think it shows up in surveys, but I think it's even worse than people realize. Because when you silo people into these little teams, what you're really doing is creating walls and making it harder for them to work together. And Scrum is supposed to be cross-functional teams. So I think organizations need to take a step back and define those products a little bit more broadly. Don't concentrate on efficiency because that's actually not efficient. What you should be concentrating on, what are the products, build those teams to deliver those products, give them the resources they need and let them run.
Exactly. It's funny. I still get the question quite often, whether it's in a work environment or a family environment, Thanksgiving conversation, or out on the golf course when I'm paired up with somebody who says, "What do you do?" And, my work at Scrum.org. Oh, is that an acronym for something? And of course, as most of us know, Scrum is based on rugby. And the whole idea of a Scrum in rugby is the team working together to move the product, or in their case, to move the ball forward. In our case, it's the team working together to move the product forward. It's all about, as you said, Mary, working together. How do we work together as a team to help move that product forward and realize our vision? And I think that gets lost, especially if we have a project mindset, because it's about speeds and feeds. It's about how quickly can we do things? Are we meeting our deadlines? What are we going to forego to meet what we thought we were going to build 18 months ago? And that's not the reality. Reality is we're trying to build a product that satisfies our customers. And those customers' needs are evolving. The businesses are evolving. I mean, just look at the world today. The world is evolving so quickly. The technologies are evolving and so on. And that's going to change as we're building. And we need to be able to adapt to those changes as we're putting our products forward.
Absolutely. And when you have a products team, when you have the people working together to deliver that product, you're able to adapt so much sooner. You're able to deliver value sooner. You're able to reduce risks sooner. It all comes back to that. So I think about the State of Agile report. Their number one reason for adopting Agile every year in that survey, either number one or tied for the first, since the survey has existed, has always been deliver value sooner, deliver something sooner, right? And then the wording changes. And so you need that cross-functional team working together. When you put up walls between them, you're just slowing down value delivery. So I'm passionate about this topic. I do think it's endemic or maybe even a tragedy when people, they want to deliver value and then they put them into silos and make it harder to deliver value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And communication becomes so important. Working together becomes important. If we start working like this in different silos, we end up diverging. We lose that ability to really work together and coordinate.
Yeah. You lose that whole product focus if you don't know what your product is and people defining those products so narrowly. Just,
And what the value is that you're trying to deliver and defining that value and really looking at evidence to define where we're going and how we're going to get there. What are we doing based on the information that we have and the information that we can capture?
absolutely. Well, I'm passionate about this topic. I think it's important. I think it's relevant. I think it's timely. So I'm thrilled to have you joining us this year at Scrum Day Madison. Get your tickets at www.scrumday.org.
Great. And see you all in Madison. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.